I'm with Roy Cadman today. Roy was a member of the No. 3 Commando unit during the Second World War. And when did you come into the Commando unit?
1942.
1942. Where did you grow up, Roy?
I was in a regiment called the Buffs before that. And I volunteered for the Commandos in 42. Went up to Carry, did the 3-month course up there. That's a training depot for Commandos. That's where you get your green beret.
And what exactly is a green beret?
Well, it's a side hat. It's a side hat. On there.
Oh, green beret.
Green beret.
Green beret.
You saw us. We wore that.
Right.
Out
in Normandy.
Lots in that. We used to wear that.
Right.
We didn't wear tin hats.
Right. I never heard the term beret. I know.
Well, we call it.
You call it a beret. That's a new word for me.
You
It's
call
like
them
the airborne.
berets.
Beret.
The English airborne wore maroon,
Right.
so that you could recognise them.
Right.
The
John
recognition.
Wayne made a film called The Green Beret.
Right.
Yeah, Big John Wayne.
And it was
St Mary Gleeson. Take me to St Mary Gleeson, he said.
Yeah.
He had his whole leg up like that.
That was in The Longest Day.
Big John,
that was the longest day.
Big John Wayne.
That was the
I
longest
used to
day.
like him.
Anyway,
Tell him, go on.
Go ahead. Tell me about that story when you were in Africa and then you were on your way to Tunis.
we were in a tented camp outside Algiers, and we were there originally to take over from No. 6 Commando, who were in the original landings in the November before. That would be in 42. So they bung us all in a trainload of these cattle trucks. The officers had a proper carriage up the front. Remember that?
Yeah.
And
Now, was Fred with you at the time? Were you together with Fred?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we were going up where the fighting was to relieve No. 6. And
There were 60 of you in this cattle car.
we were on it for 3 days.
That's right. Look.
And the train didn't stop until it wanted wood burning. So if you wanted to have a crap, had sliding doors, so you had to have it on the move. So you dropped your trousers, you hung on to 2 handles, and you stuck your bum out the back, and you had a crap with all the other lads cheering you on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, that is.
Yeah, anyway, we get to a place called Sejanane, which is pretty much up towards where Tunis is. That's where the war finished in Africa, in Tunis. We pulled into this siding, and there was a 6 cattle truck, call it a train, with 2 coloured Americans, one sitting at the top one end and one sitting at the top the other end.
Yeah.
And we thought, there's got to be something of importance in these carriages with having people sitting at the top looking after it. So we sent a small party of blokes each end with cigarettes, because the old Negroes, American Negroes, sitting at the top. And they got them talking and giving them cigarettes. We hopped across the track, which was only, I would say, about, see this thing?
Yes.
Right at the end post, that's where the track, that's where the coaches were. Got a big pair of bolt cutters because they had a huge padlock on it. We thought, oh God, it's going to be it. We got the thing, undid it, opened the door. God,
Ever.
it was Christmas.
Yeah. Cigarettes.
Boxes and boxes of Camel cigarettes, all sorts of American cigarettes, cans of fruit, mixed fruit, all full of beautiful fruit juice,
Yeah, beautiful.
cans of Spam, everything there. Can you think of anything else that we got out of there?
No, I remember the tin fruit.
I think there were cigars.
Oh yeah, cigarettes, camels.
Oh, bags
Camels,
of camels, yeah.
Camels.
Marlboro.
Lucky Strike. Was there
Marlboro,
Strike?
Lucky Strike, yeah. All in 200 packets.
That's
200
right.
cigarettes in a packet. So we formed a chain from one to the other, and we're passing all this stuff over. Look,
To the officers as well.
they didn't know about
No,
it, 'cause
no,
you're
right.
not supposed to do this sort of thing.
Right.
You see? And it took us about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour
Yeah.
Good.
to get all this stuff, the whole lot we got into our truck, slammed the door shut, put the bolt thing on it, the whistle went, which the driver of the train used to if they'd stopped and we'd all got out to go to the toilets, as well as sticking your bum out, you tried to go when he'd stopped.
Right.
So we heard the 3 whistles, we all jumped back in, pulled our door to, and away we went. And we started dishing them out. We took loads of cigarettes to where the officers were, and we went into the CO, he was a lieutenant colonel, which said,
Yeah.
we've got something for you, sir. I had an armful of these packets. I'm dishing them out to the second in command and
Round,
the adjutant and
Getting round the officers.
yeah, getting round the
Yeah.
officers. See. And the CO said, "Where did you get these from, Cadman?" I said, "You don't want to know, sir." "Oh," he said, "it's like that, is it?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "All right, thank you very much. Now, you haven't told me this, and you haven't given any cigarettes to us, have you?" I said, "What cigarettes, sir?" And that was it. Then we shared it out with all the lads, and that was the end of the story. But we never wanted for cigarettes, not for weeks and weeks after that,
Right.
because we had to share them out, because at the end of the 3 days we got off the train. You
Right.
see, we got all this lot, bloody great cans of fruit and all the stuff to eat, and that had to be shared out amongst the rest of the Commando. So we're passing it along from one carriage to the next.
Right.
Well, that's the end of that story.
So, when you got to Tunis, basically that's where the war ended, and the British, at that point, you were sent back where?
Well, from there we got on a boat at Tripoli.
In Tripoli?
At Tripoli in North Africa, we got on a boat that it was a freighter. I ought to think about 5,000 ton, little job, and it stunk of curry because the crew were Lascars. And
So Lascars were from India, right?
Lascars were Indian
Right.
crew, and at night they used to get in the lifeboats, pull the cover over, because they weren't supposed to do that, they weren't supposed to get in the lifeboat.
Right.
And we used to keep turfing them out. And you can't go, they bloody get out. Kick up the bum and...
Right.
Oh, hello, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
It's
He's a
Major
American
Shannon.
friend of ours.
Hi, Major Shannon.
Manny.
Nice to meet you. Manny Vider from the United States.
Hey, are you airborne as well?
Airborne.
Yeah.
And you put up with these guys?
Oh, I put up with them. It's not
They
the
will
first
tell
time.
you that they were commandos and all. I'm not sure about that. Is that right? Oh no, I'm going to be killed. I know it. I know it.
Don't you?
We met him in Normandy on the 70th anniversary
Right,
this year. And he's over here with his girlfriend.
Great.
And look, he thought he'd look us up.
He woke us up.
We were both asleep.
Still got the up.
Yeah,
I did it on purpose.
we were both asleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's great. Very kind of you to come along.
Well, I have to tell you, we actually met 2 years ago. And, you know, I do a lot of the stories for the American War veterans.
Yeah.
And I was there to do stories on the American War veterans. And by accident, I met them because I ran into this friend, Gene Garin, that they also know, who came to take them to Normandy that particular year. That was the year Gene picked you up and drove you there. So we met, and I spent a little time with them, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to go see the Americans. I didn't go to our reception. I followed them for the days I was there. I never had so much fun being with them because they had character. Not to say that the Americans don't, but it was a whole different story. And you know what? The Americans go there to tell stories of Americans, but what about the other side? What about the British? I knew nothing about that because I was ingrained strictly in World War II history of what my father did, what my father-in-law did, and what the Americans did. But I knew nothing about. I've never even heard the term number 3 Commando or number 6 Commando. But it was something that interested me, sparked an interest, and it was just one funny day after the next, and I kept telling Gene, where are you going to be the next day? Because my schedule is what I want it to be. And that was it. This year, we were there for the 70th, and I have to tell you, it was amazing, because I was there, I met with the president.
Why?
I was in the VIP thing, because I had to talk to him about how the veterans were being treated by the Veterans Administration and the hospitals. We had veterans who were pushed back on seeing doctors, and we know that approximately 300 to 400 veterans died because they couldn't get to see a doctor for something that could have been avoided. In other words, they would have lived. It was nothing very detrimental, but they could have been saved. And it was, the administration was not handling it right. And this is what was happening in America as opposed to in England. So I was there, we shook hands, and I held his hand, I wouldn't let it go. Yeah, and the Secret Service was around us, and I said, you know, please do everything you can for our veterans. And we spoke, and he promised me he would. And, you know, I got the original
And we told him about the medal, and he said it's the top medal that we have. He said, I think it's higher than your MBE.
Because he's got the MBE, Shannon, isn't he? I think he's got the MBE. Look at these kids here, look how they come back again. You know. They're all gone now. They're all gone. He's got the gear this boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Got the gear.
I'm going to be sending you both photos of today.
Say what?
I'm going to send you photographs. I have his address.
yeah.
You're going to give me a card. I'm going to send you photos.
Yeah.
You know, that you'll have. But let's get back to this medal. Now, which medal? I know that Gene had gotten a medal, and I know that Valerie arranged it from. You know, Valerie. That's the girl who arranges your lodging.
Yeah.
You know, the French girl.
Yeah. we would have got ours.
Girl. French girl.
Jean's girlfriend. Jean's girlfriend.
Oh, the one with the little girl.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah. We would have got ours, but we couldn't get to St Mary Glees. The traffic was too big. But Jean got there, he was in another car.
Right.
And we pulled into a little village had a lunch, didn't we?
Yeah.
We give up, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So there
really-
was a medal assigned to you guys?
But really, it's given to us because it's for those that landed on D-Day and carried on fighting up to the end of the war in Europe. But Jean wasn't in the army then. Well, it didn't matter to us. I don't give a shit who has it.
Right. Well, you know, you gentlemen deserve it. And what I'm going to do is this. When I get back, I'm friendly with the ambassador to the United States, the French ambassador. I know him personally. And he's the guy who can do anything. It's not going to happen right away, but what I'll do is I'll...
Yeah,
Well,
before you... Go on,
yeah,
tell him.
before you do anything,
Right.
Listen,
when we came back, we explained to the adjutant
We're here?
here what had happened. So he got in touch with the French embassy
Here.
and he arranged to have, there's 21 people here that are entitled to it. He arranged that if they would be given, we would have a special parade here.
I think that would be the best thing.
Yeah, but the French embassy closes down in
During this
August.
summer. Sure. That's when they go on vacation.
Yeah.
All
So-
over the world.
So everything came to a halt. So
they open again.
They're open.
I spoke to him yesterday about it.
Right.
And he said, I've already spoken to them twice. I'll do it again today and put a bit of pressure on them.
Right. Before we go.
Well, I said we're going to Normandy early October. It would be nice if we could wear it out there.
That's right.
I can't see that happening. There's not enough time to organise this place
That's right.
for a mass parade.
That's right.
Have you seen the old man in the closed down market, kicking up the paper with his worn out shoes? In his eyes you see no pride, and held loosely at his side, yesterday's paper telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London, show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old girl who walks the streets of London, dirt in her hair and her clothes in rags? She's no time for talking, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home in 2 carrier bags. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London, show you something to make you change your mind. In the all-night cafe, at 11:15. Same old man sitting there on his own, looking at the world over the rim of his teacup. Each tea lasts an hour and he wanders home alone. So how can you tell me you're lonely? Don't say for you that the sun don't shine. Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London, show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old man outside the seaman's mission? Memory fading with the metal ribbons that he wears. In our winter city, the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero and a world that doesn't care. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London, show you something to make you change your mind.